Okay, lesson 17 is all about solving problems with positive and negative numbers. If you'll remember at the end of lesson 16, there was one problem where you were subtracting a negative. If you really didn't understand what you were doing when you subtracted a negative, today's lesson is really going to help you. Before, we have always used the red number cubes, and those were our positive numbers. Today we're going to be talking and working with both the red and the green. And just like we learned that X and star are opposites, now our red and our green number cubes are opposites. So if I said to you, positive 2 plus a negative 2 equals 0. Well, that's because if we build it, we have a 2, positive 2 plus a negative 2. These are opposites and they cancel each other out to be 0. If we said negative 3 plus a negative 5, well, what would that equal? So we have negative 3 and negative 5. Well, before, with the red number cubes, you learned that, that's the wrong one, you learned that positive 3 plus positive 5 equaled an 8 number cube. Well, a green 3 plus a green 5 is still going to equal 8, but now it is negative 8. Well, what if you have a negative 3 plus a positive 5? Now, you don't technically have to write this positive sign in front of the 5. You can just say negative 3 plus 5. You can see it written either way. But you have negative 3 plus a positive 5. You can think about this two different ways. I'm going to show you two ways to solve this problem. You can either break this 5 up so that you have a 3 and a 2, because 3 plus 2 equals 5. We all agree that that's the same. Well, now we have opposites, and just like before, you could take away opposites X and star. Since I know these are opposites, I can take them away, and I know that negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Or you can think about it in terms of a number line. So here's 0. Here's negative 3. If I have negative 3, and I'm going to add 5, I'm just going to start counting at negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I end up at 2, your answer. Let's try another one. If I have, this is what we had on the problem in lesson 16. Negative 10 minus a negative 5. So I have negative 10. And remember before, when we would build equations and say we had 3 minus x, how are we going to show that we were taking away that x? We talked about how that means you had to add a star. It's opposite. Well, here, how am I going to take away a negative 5? Well, I technically have to add a positive 5. In order to take away a negative, I have to add a positive. Just like before, if I had to take away an x, I needed to add its opposite. So I'm going to add negative 5's opposite, which is plus 5. So now, these two symbols, the subtraction and the negative number, we're adding 5, and you end up with just 5. Because negative 10 minus 5, and now it's back to the problem like we had before. We could break this 10 up into 2 5s. It's 5 and 5. Negative 5 and negative 5 are both negative 10. Now we could take away our opposites, and we're left with negative 10. Let's try another one. Let's try positive 5 minus a negative 3. Positive 5 minus a negative 3. Think about what you need to do. You've got to take away this negative 3. The only way to take it away is to add its opposite, 3. So you end up with 8. Okay, try the practice problems that are on the Shutterfly page and see how you do.